Hello everyone, this is Riyad Ahmed Mehdi, ID 232153771. Today I am going to present on problem, motivation and research gap. These three things are very important for any research project because they help us understand what problem we are solving, why we are solving it and what is missing in existing research. So let's start with the research problem. So, what is a research problem? A research problem is basically an issue, challenge, or question that needs to be investigated through research. A good research problem should have four important qualities. First, it should be specific. That means clearly defines what needs to be studied. Second, researchable, can be investigated using data and method. Third, relevant, addresses a meaningful academic or real world issue. 4. Feasible, fits the available time, resource, and skill. Why is the problem important? A research problem should have a clear purpose and impact. First, it should address a real need. There should be an actual problem behind the research. Second, solving the problem should create some positive impact for users, organization, or society. Third, the research should have research value, such as adding new knowledge, evidence, or a useful method. Fourth, it can also have society value. If the research can contribute positively to people and society. Next, we talk about why should we solve it. First, this brings us to motivation. There are four things we can consider. First, need. What problem or pain point currently exists? Second, impact. Who will benefit if we solve the problem? Third, consequence. What may happen if the problem remains unsolved? And fourth, opportunity. Why is this a good time to conduct this research? Next, we will talk about the finding the research gap. A research gap means something that is missing, limited, or not adequately addressed in the existing research. We can find a research gap in three steps. First, we look at existing work and understand what previous researchers have already done. Second, we identify the limitations of those existing approaches. For example, a method may be expensive, slow, biased, or maybe have limited data. Finally, we defined our research gap, the specific issue that are always that our project wants to address. From gap to research objective. This slide shows the logical connection between different parts of research. First, we identify the gap, what is missing. Then we develop a research question, what we want to know. From that question, we defined our objective, what we want to achieve. Then we select a suitable method to achieve that objective. Finally, we perform evaluation to prove whether our proposed solution actually works or not. Finally, how to defend our research gap. During a research defense, the examiner may ask why we selected this particular problem or gap. First, we should provide evidence such as relevant research papers, reports, or datasets. Second, we should compare existing approaches with our proposed approach. Third, we should explain why the limitation matters. Fourth, uh, we should clearly show how our work addresses